Hello and welcome to Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. Yes, I'm jumping on that bandwagon, as it were. This is version 2.220.351. And in the 0.22 update, something amazing was added, and that is the career mode here. So I've already put myself in a flag, the BombFish logo. I will rename this to BombFish. Yes, we are going to do much science today. So, if you are new to Kerbal Space Program, what is it? It is a game in which you play the civilization of the Kerbals and their attempts to go to space and do other such things and collect much science. So, what do? Well, first, we don't have much. If you've played the game before but not recently, you'll notice I'm missing a lot of parts. That is because there is now a tech tree, which, you know what, before I get going, I will show you the tech tree. Nice thing is, that will just stay in the assembly building. So here's the tech tree. We don't have much of anything. We have 0 science, as you can see. And right now, we just have start. The technology started out with. And it gives you the very, very basics of rocket flight. A command pod, a rocket engine, a solid fuel booster, a fuel tank, a girder, communitron, which is very important, and a parachute, which doesn't seem to be rendering properly, but whatever. So the goal is to build a rocket and do science in it. And science is actually an action you can do. You can measure things and observe things and report back, and you get points for it. So, let's see. We want to go to the crew. Who are we going to take today? Right now, Jebediah Kerman. And you know what? I think it's tradition to start at least your first flight off with Jebediah Kerman. So we will go ahead and accept that. Something we need if we are going... This probably will not take us to space. Actually, do I even have a decoupler? I do not. No decouplers even. No stages for this. This is a single stage up and down. But I do have a parachute. So hopefully I need to change my staging so that they don't all come out at the same time. This will take us up and back down. And we can see what we can do with that. So I will name this my first rocket ship. Aw, my first rocket ship. Anyways, off to launch we go. It gives you a weird air rushing sound when it loads. I don't know why. Look at us on the launch pad. Something else that's changed. A little while ago, they took away the launch tower, which is nice, so you don't crash into it as easily. There's really nothing much to this, but to turn on our SAS, throttle up, and in 3, 2, 1, launch. So something we can do while we're going on up is not deploy the chute. We can do a crew report. The shores look inviting, and you watch the waves roll in to the coast. We can either transmit the data, but we did not put an antenna on, so we cannot, or we can keep the data for 3.5 scientific value. Hooray! Science! And that's it. We are out of fuel. What was our apoapsis today? We will not be going to space. In fact, we're just at about the cruising altitude of airliners. That's our apoapsis. Nothing too spectacular, but he is still alive, and that's better than some launches. So we will just go ahead and accelerate this on up to our apoapsis, and we're starting to fall again. I will go ahead and deploy our chute, and now since we are under chute, I will not use the time acceleration. It has a nasty habit of breaking things. The game kind of can't simulate things that fast, and it breaks. Let's see. I don't think I can do anything else. Crew report? Nope. I already have a crew report. Turn off my SAS, and we will come back down. And at 500 meters, our chute has deployed. Looks as though the search and rescue guys are going to have a pretty easy time with this. This also gives us a nice chance to look at the launch complex. We have a runway over here for space planes later. That is the space plane hangar. And there's our vehicle assembly building, our research and development building, the astronaut training, and the tracking station where you can see your flights in progress. So I will just kind of float on down here to the railway for the, I imagine would be a crawler to deliver your ship out to the pad. Strange rendering glitch. Oh, we lost an engine. Came down a little hard on that side. But Jebediah Kerman, he is safe. We can get him out of our spacecraft. Let's go. We can walk around. EVA report. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary to get here, was it? No, but it is worth 2.4 scientific value. We can get them to run. I'm going to run him over to the launch pad real quick. So we're over here at the launch pad. Took a while because these little Kerbal legs do not go very fast. But we can do a surface sample. Surface is charred and coated with burnt rocket propellant. There's also trace amounts of conspicuous green substance. Ooh, from past failed launches perhaps. But that is it for this flight. We went up, we came down, and we got some science. So I can recover the vessel, which will recover good old Jebediah. And give us 11.4 science, hooray! But we also left a craft, my first rocket ship, down at the KSC. So what we want to do is recover that vessel as well. And that gave us 8.5 science. Crew report while flying in over Kerbal shores, recovery a vessel that survived a flight. Okay, so we can leave and head over to our research and development. We need 19 science to open this. Or no, excuse me. We need 5 science. We have 19. This gives us access to a larger fuel tank, a smaller fuel tank, a mystery goo containment unit. What was that? This unit was something one of our engineers came upon while researching alternative applications for existing technologies. It's a sealed container which appears to be filled with a strange-looking substance. We couldn't reach in or break the canister open, but watching how the goo behaves when subjected to different situations could be very educational. That is a science getter. Basically, you observe the mystery goo and it gives you science depending on where you are. And we have a stack decoupler. This allows for staging. Hooray, because staged rockets are generally more efficient than single-stage rockets. Unfortunately, for the next tier, it looks like we need at least 15 science, and I have 14 science, so we will have to do another flight. But with the stack decoupler, we might actually be able to get into space. So my first rocket ship served us well, but it's time to start anew. Let's drag you up and out of the way. What do we want? We want fuel tanks. Actually, first things first, structural, we want a stack decoupler so we can bring the pod back and nothing else. Parachute. Science things. We could use a communitron, but I plan on bringing this back, and so I want to just keep all of the science. There we go. Put 2 of those on. Let's see. What do we want now? Probably some fuel tanks. This is going to be a staged rocket. There we go. Now, problem is we are... Actually, I'm going to make this a double. We don't have any real structural ability to decouple things. I don't think. I might be able to do a little trick here. Put that there. And then that there. There. Now we have a stage that we can drop. There we go. And another. And another. That ought to be good. Actually, I think I'm going to do one more. Yeah. And then some engines, and then I want another kind of poor man's structural. And down. We want one that, nope, come here. We want one that goes down. And then another set of stacked decouplers. And some solid boosters. Hopefully these can hold on to the weight of this ship standing on top of it, but first we need to set our staging correctly. Now the game attempts to make a good guess at what you want, but it's often wrong. It gets things kind of close, but it has the solids going alone without these liquids, and I don't want that. So I want the liquids down here, so everything goes at once. Then these will burn out first, and so I want to be able to decouple them. So that'll be that. Then these will burn out. Then I'll decouple them, and then I'll turn on this engine, and then I'll decouple that when we're probably on our way back. So this will be the orbit hopeful. Hopefully this will get us into orbit and we can do some science. Yay. Actually, no, maybe. I don't know, I'm trying to debate whether I want to add a communitron or not. I probably should. Be better to have it and not need it. Oh, I only want one of those. Come here, little thing. There we go. Okay. I think that's good. So we will save our rocket and launch it. Now with any luck, this will not crumble on the launch pad. We don't have any struts, we have to remember. Yeah, you can see the rocket kind of bowing out a little bit, but it seems stable enough. So I'll turn on our SAS, and in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's loud. Holy moly, that's loud. There we go, jeez. So we're going up with a quickness. Now there's a kind of a rule of thumb that you don't really want to exceed 200 meters per second before you exit this light blue part of the atmosphere. That's just wasting energy. Okay, stage those rockets. That worked well. Throttle up. There we go. At about 10,000 meters, we're going to want to roll over and start a gravity turn. In fact, I need to work on that a little bit right now. Oh no, we're getting a bit of a rotation. Okay, time to roll over. That's very difficult because these rockets do not have any kind of thrust vectoring. There we go. Get it down just a little bit more. There. That should be pretty good. Please stop with the spinning. Okay, that's too much. No. Stop spinning, stop spinning, stop spinning, stop spinning. No. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, crap. Oh, wrong button. So we've lost our rocket. So the thing we need to do is stage those off. Then stage that and deploy our chute. Let's see, how high did we get? Oh man, we're actually going to leave the atmosphere. Frustrating. That's one of the first things I'll research when I get enough science, is the ability to have struts that allow you to kind of secure things. Crew report. You record the crew's assessment of the situation. Yeah, this was a situation. But we might as well do some science as we crash back down. Observe the mystery goo. The goo seems to be getting very cold now. Yes, I'm quite high in the air. So I will keep that. Now I could do an EVA, but that's kind of dangerous right now, since I'm still kind of close to the atmosphere. So we'll just basically crash back down and recover our vessel. And we drift gently into the ocean. And everything survived, yay! Let's flip over. Now let's have good old Jebediah go for a swim. Take a surface sample. You've taken a sample of the water. It appears to dramatically increase the surface humidity of anything it touches. Yes, it would do that. Excuse me. EVA report. Don't think spacesuit was entirely instant get here, was it? Nope, but keep the data. And then, if I can bump into it enough, I might be able to flip it back over. But that doesn't matter. So we will recover good old Jebediah. 15.2 science earned. Surface sample and EVA report. And then we can recover the orbit hopeful, which did not get to orbit. Well, it did get to orbit, but didn't make a full orbit. And I got 21.6 science, so I have 51 science. That means I should be able to get struts and fix that problem. Okay. So, this gives me survivability, the art and science of landing and walking away from it. Apparently any landing you can walk away from is a good one. I wouldn't really agree with that, but that is the Kerbal motto, I think. Alright, so it gives us a small liquid engine, which would be nice for space. It has a ISP and vacuum of 390, which is quite high. ISP is specific impulse, and it is a rating, you can think of it as the engine's efficiency. Landing struts. Well, we're not really going anywhere where we need to land with struts yet. And radial mount parachute. Well, we already have another kind of parachute, so I'm not too interested in this. Aerodynamics. Aerodynamic nose cone. Aerodynamic, lightweight, and mostly non-explosive. As a reminder to all personnel operating nearby, this part is really sharp, and it'd probably hurt if you fell on it. In previous versions of the game, the nose cone was just for looks. It actually does something now. It gives you better aerodynamics. Well, it is an aerodynamic nose cone, but it allows you to go faster. The AVT1 winglet. Nothing is really known about this thing. Use it at your own risk. It is just a winglet. Just sits there, doesn't pivot or anything. It just kind of keeps you going straight up, which might be kind of nice. Radial decoupler. The TT38K radial decoupler, like most other decouplers, is equipped with a hopefully small explosive charge that will sever the structural link between itself and whatever it's connected to. There's actually a real bit of science. Explosives are used to decouple things. Why? Because explosives are reliable. You set them off, they go off. And then we have what was the other one called? Stability, and this one's general rocketry. We have a LVT-45 liquid fuel engine. The LVT-45 engine was considered another breakthrough in the LVT series due to its thrust vectoring feature. The LVT-45 can deflect its thrust to aid in craft control. All these added mechanics, however, make for a slightly smaller and less powerful engine in comparison with the earlier LVT models. I like that thing because it controls you. Sepratron 1. Small canister filled with what appears to be solid rocket fuel. Though not much of a step forward in terms of raw power, Kerbal scientists have slowly warmed up to the Sepratron 1's many uses, such as pushing things away. For best results, angle before use. And then a large fuel booster filled with new, even more volatile fuel. The BACC offers semi-reliable performance at a good price. I think I will go for this one, as it allows us, actually we can get multiples, as it gives us the thrust vectoring engine. What do we get next? We get struts. We don't have enough science. Crap. I wanted that. Advanced rocketry gives us a new kind of engine and a new fuel tank. General construction gives us the strut. The launch stability enhancer, which is basically like a thing that holds your craft before it launches. The radial decoupler. And the tricoupler. This is a good one. I honestly think I'm going to save my science, use this engine to get me into orbit, do more science up there, and then come get this one. Alright, so we are going to modify the Orbit Hopeful to the Mark II. Save, and we want to remove these engines in favor of the new LVT-45s. Bam. Okay, this ought to help. I'm actually going to remove that one as well. Something I'm curious about. ISP and Vacuum 370. Okay, they have the same efficiency, just a little bit less power. 200 as opposed to 215. Not a big difference, especially since you get thrust vectoring. Okay, I think that will keep us, will give us the ability to get to orbit. So I'm going to redo our staging. Okay. Save and launch this sucker. Alright, we're on the pad, still a little wobbly, but throttle up, turn on the SAS, and in 3, 2, 1, go! Man, that's loud. Still a little wobbly and still a little bit spinny, but I think we will actually be able to keep this one under control. Very fast. Throttle down just a little bit. Throttle down a little bit more. Jeez. And more. Save that fuel. Okay, those are gone. Stage them and throttle up. Losing a little bit of speed, but that's okay. Spin seems to be kind of slowing down. Good. Our spin's going the other way now. There we go. Okay, we are throttled down just a little bit because we're going a little too fast. We're about to hit the 10,000, and we are there, so we want to start our gravity turn. Throttle back up. And bring it on down to about the 45. There we go. And up we go. So it doesn't look like we will have quite enough fuel, I don't think. But let's look at our apoapsis. It is growing quite rapidly. The atmosphere of Kerbal tends to stop having an effect on your craft around 69,000 meters, 69 kilometers. So that is about the edge of space. I like to take mine up to around 80,000 about, because then you're really out of the atmosphere. 69, you're still kind of dragging, and you'll get an aerobrake effect. So we are rapidly approaching that, and kill our thrust. Okay, so we will drift on up. Jebediah seems as though he's having a great time. That or he's a madman. Come on now. There we go. Alright, hold that right there. So the idea is you kind of establish your parabolic trajectory, and then up towards the apoapsis, you start burning horizontal to give yourself enough speed to go around the planet. So we are just coasting up. Looks like we'll get a bit of a burn out of these engines, and then we'll be able to use this engine. Now this should get us into orbit. Oop, we're in space. Space music. This should get us into orbit because this is very little mass. So it should be able to go pretty fast. Alright, T-minus 39, 38 seconds. I can bring this up. You can actually pilot from here, just using your nav ball. So I'll start burning right around maybe 10 seconds. Probably a little bit sooner than that, even 15 maybe, so pretty close. And here we go. Alright. Oh. Okay, we got a bit of a spin going, but we're about to lose these engines. You can see our orbit is growing. And stage and fire. Away we go. Hopefully this will be enough. It's growing pretty quick. Look at our resources. But we're losing quite a bit of fuel pretty quickly. I need to save enough to get back into to burn retrograde and come back to the planet. Alright, we have a periapsis. Now I'm gonna wait again and burn when I'm closer here to extend this out. Because I want to get this at about 84, 90. I'm not too particular about getting a perfectly circular orbit. But one thing we can do, since we are very much in space, we can observe the mystery goo. The goo appears to have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to have become brittle. We can keep that data. We can do it again. Now, something you can do is use your communitron and start transmitting. However, our electric charge, warning, not enough electric charge, we have run out, which means we need to turn on our rocket engine. The rocket engine gives you, oh wait, okay, we are increasing our apoapsis, that's okay. The rocket engine gives you electric power, at least this version does. Some of the engines do not. In fact, I'm just going to, like that. Now, since we are in a pretty good orbit, something we can do is take a crew report. It seems we are very much in space right now. The sky seems to be mostly below us. Good to know, good to know. So we will keep the data. And I do believe it is time for Jebediah Kerman to go floating around in space. He gets these little rocket packs. There we go. Oh, now. There we go. Look at you, Jebediah Kerman, floating around in space, having a great old time. EVA report. You've recorded the observations about the situation, and it's worth a decent amount, because we're floating around in space. And board. Board. Good job. Good job, Jebediah. Now, let's check our orbit. I'm just going to give this a little pop. And good. Now we have an orbit that'll keep us in orbit. And we have plenty of fuel left. Good job. Good job, Jebediah Kerman. Very good. Observed the mystery goo since we sent that one back. It reset. It's now worth a little bit less, but that's okay. It's still worth science. So I think I'm going to use the mysteries of time acceleration and sling myself. You can only go so fast when you're below a certain altitude. It's kind of the game's way of making sure you don't just crash into a planet if you're coming close to it. Although it doesn't work that well. If you are, way up in like 10,000 times acceleration, you come close to a planet, you will smack right into it. It will not slow down fast enough. I know because I've done it a few times. But yeah, we got good old Jebediah Kerman just floating around in space here. Oh, hope you're not motion sick. Bull. Having a great old time. But we need to bring him home. Now, another nice feature that was added, not this version, but previously, was the ability to set maneuvers. You can see how your you can set a maneuver and see what it'll do. Now the thing is, where is KSP is right about here, and the thing that looks like Africa, it's right about there. We're not really gonna hit that because it's in the dark side. So I think what I'm gonna try and do is, each of these biomes is different, and you get science depending on the biome. And so what I want to do is I want to try and land in the desert. Now, can I do that? See, the problem is I'm going to come in over here, but if I increase that, bring it back down just a little bit, and then pivot this, I want to try and... So that's my periapsis, so it's only going to get shorter from there. Bring that around. And what this should do is kind of bring it back as we enter the atmosphere. So I'm actually going to bring this down just a little bit more. There. That'll definitely start shortening up as we come into the atmosphere and start aerobraking. And one of the nice things it does is it gives us a countdown. We are currently 12 minutes and 30 odd seconds away from that node, and it'll be a burn of 2 seconds. On our nav ball, we are given this blue marker, and that's where we need to aim in order to make this happen. It's kind of strange that it's not straight on here. It should just be straight retrograde to where we're going, but whatever. So we will speed up a little bit. 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slow it down a little bit. In around about, I don't know, 45 seconds, I'll start maneuvering. Okay. So we need to bring, there we go. See, it did line up with our retrograde. So if we can anticipate it and just go ahead and line up with, retrograde is the direction we're not traveling. It is the opposite of the direction we're traveling. Okay, and since the 2-second burn, which is very, very short, although I think there's a bit of a problem in the calculation that if you haven't throttled up, it doesn't quite know exactly how long it's supposed to be, although this burn will not be very long. Just because it doesn't need much delta V, and delta V is change in speed. Many things in rocket science are measured as in terms of delta V. And that's it. There we go. So now our periapsis is about 14,000 meters, and so we will start coming into the atmosphere around here, and it will start shortening this up as we lose our velocity. It'll shorten this up and hopefully land us in the desert. We can take a nice surface sample. So I will speed up a little bit. Come back on in to Jebediah. Having fun as always. Now, nice thing is, as we get closer and closer, it will automatically decrease our time acceleration. I don't want to add a maneuver. So one of the things I want to show you, oh, space music's on, we're in the atmosphere. See, it took us down to warp 1. As you can see, we have now entered the atmosphere and our periapsis is dropping. That means we are losing speed. So hopefully I have timed this right. We might end up over here, but that might be a nice soil sample. Who knows? So we're coming in. Kind of come in tail first. It doesn't really matter. In this version of the game, there are no re-entry effects. However, there's a pretty active mod community for Kerbal Space Program, and one of the mods is, I think, called Deadly Re-entry, in that re-entry does actually apply a heat effect to your craft and can burn it up if you're not careful. So let's see. Yep, definitely dropping. Now I can do time acceleration here. Just it's like physical time acceleration. It's actually calculating things. It just calculates a lot faster. I can also kind of influence where I land, because if I get over the desert, I can pop my chute and really slow myself down and try and land in there. But it looks like I shouldn't have any problem with that. Oh no, it looks like our periapsis is processing. Oh, there we go. So this is where we're going to impact. Getting there, might have been a little bit, it might be a little bit shy. So here comes the landmass. Ooh, need to be careful. See, we even get a nice little re-entry effect. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to quite make the desert. That's too bad. Alright, I need to slow it on down. I really don't want to land in these mountains if I can help it. Looks like I should get past that. And a nice part about coming in really shallow, the way I did, instead of dropping straight down to the planet, is you burn off a lot of your speed coming through the atmosphere. You don't use it, like you don't come straight down and just have like 60,000 meters of atmosphere to go through. You kind of come in at a shallow angle, so you get many hundreds of thousands of meters distance to slow down, and that makes it a lot easier on your parachutes. Because if you deploy your parachutes and you're going a little too fast, it applies a huge force to your craft, and you can break it. Your parachutes can pop right off, or your craft can separate. So I'm going to go ahead and separate that and deploy the chute. And please don't crash into me. Please go away. Ah, jeez. Okay. So it looks like we're coming down in the mountains. Hopefully we'll... Man, that's a tall mountain. We're already getting below the peak. Hopefully, it looks like we're going to come down here in these grasslands, which will be nice. Wow. Very cool. There are Easter eggs hidden on Kerbal. Nope, we're coming down in the mountain. Now, the parachute is radar controlled, and it comes out 500 meters above the surface, not just 500 absolute meters, which is nice, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get down to 500 absolute meters. 500 absolute meters being relative to sea level being 0 meters. So hopefully, you know, I think we could probably do a crew report. Oh, I don't want to overwrite the existing crew report. I could transmit that. I think I'm pretty much out of charge, though. Yeah, I'm out of electric charge. So we're coming down on the side of a hill, which isn't exactly the best. Oh no, stay upright. Okay, there we go. I don't... Alright, cool, I can get up. Awesome. So, we will do a EVA, and you can go ahead and let go and roll down the hill. Get up, guy. Alright. EVA report. I don't think the spacesuit... Yeah, whatever. Keep the data. And take a surface sample. Here the surface is mostly barren. Snow, dirt, and rocks. You're very confident that if you looked under the snow, you'd find more dirt and rocks. Alright. I've not actually gotten that one. So keep the data. See if I can get back in my craft. Come on now. Oh. Grab. Board. Now I can recover them as one. So we were pretty successful in this one. 45.7 science added. Alright. And I think I will end this episode by purchasing struts, research. Bam. Now we can start building some more complicated craft. But I think that's just about it. So if you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. It helps a lot. And if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. I've been BombFish. I will see you in the next one.